unfrozen caveman lawyer with a very short video. Ron Paul's delegate count. Subscribe. First off, subscribe. Second off, subscribe to Crouton Ramon's House of Math. Because the whole point of Crouton Ramon's House of Math is that the government numbers and the mainstream media numbers, it's a lie. And people can't do math, so they believe it. So if you've got young children, 12 and under, let's say, I mean, high school kids too, but mostly it's aimed at the very young children. You'll see stuff where the young children are doing quote-unquote high school mathematics, and there's another story that they try to tell you that there's no conspiracy to dumb you down. There's no conspiracy to make sure that the children don't understand mathematics. Because if they understood mathematics and had critical thinking skills, they could never get away with the delegate count lies that they're getting away with. And, the numbers that they talk about when it comes to the Federal Reserve or when it comes to legalizing hemp or marijuana, whatever it is. Right? If you just take a look at money and you can understand some very basic things, you can see that the numbers that they give you are complete nonsense. They're just lying to you. They use statistics to lie to you. It was great. I had a little conversation with a friend of mine that graduated Harvard and took statistics there. And her takeaway from statistics was that you can do anything you want with those numbers. You can do anything. Take the hockey stick graph, for example. Point 1. Hockey stick graph, the original data has been lost. They lost it. The cat ate it. The dog ate their homework. They lost it. So now we have a bunch of guys that basically took the model. They released the information on how they came up with the model for the data, and they find that you put any numbers in you want, and you know what you get as an output? The hockey stick. If you use their numbers, hockey stick. You use different numbers, hockey stick. You use crazy numbers that are completely wrong, hockey stick. Numbers that should show cooling, hockey stick. Numbers that should show heating, like extreme heating, you still get that nice hockey stick. Pretty simple. Apparently you didn't get the memo. There's a link down there and you can read for yourself and do a little more research on that, because that hockey stick thing is nonsense. Anyway, the whole global warming thing is nonsense to distract you away from hemp and so forth. But the long and short of this video is Ron Paul may have as many delegates as Romney. And if not, pert near. He may even have more if we could get an actual accurate count. But you notice nobody wants to give an accurate count, because that might energize the team. Because what I'm seeing here is the Ron Paul camp. You guys need to be a fourth quarter team, my friends, because it's won in the fourth quarter. It needs to go down to the wire. You guys can't give up the ghost at halfway through. This battle isn't over. And halfway through the battle, we've got delegates coming out the wazoo. Because you understand, we're in a republic. This is not a democracy. This is a republic. And our republic, how appropriate that the sun is going down right now. Because the sun is definitely setting on our republic. But anyway, in the republic, the delegates count. The delegates are the ones that elect the president. We call that the Electoral College. The delegates are the ones that nominate the various members of either party into the popular vote. But the popular vote is just that, the popular vote. In a republic, it's not 49 to 51 and the 51 rules the day. It's supposed to be individual liberty, and the rights of the few are protected under the law, because it's a nation of laws, not a nation of men. So that even if you're in the minority, your rights are still protected. And you don't get extra rights for being gay or black or whatever. It doesn't matter. Everybody's rights are the same under the law and the Constitution. This is why it's pretty scary when you have these hate crime things where it's like, okay, so if a white guy gets killed, it's not as egregious as if a Jew gets killed because the guys that hated him killed him. And so we try him under hate crimes because they drew swastikas and so forth, and they were, neo-Nazis or whatever. They should get more punishment than if he was just a regular old white guy, or they were killing each other. I got problems with that right there. So does Ron Paul. And of course they're going to make that into like, oh, no, individual liberty. We're all equal under the law. Okay, we all know that that's nonsense. That's a pipe dream, but that's the way it was supposed to be set up. And this whole thing that we've got going on now, where they don't talk about the delegates, makes it absolutely clear that they don't understand the democratic process, right? And they try to confuse you with democracy but no, this is a republic. We have a republican form of government, and the way that Ron Paul understands the Constitution and the process was to get himself in as the nominee using the delegates, and his strategy for delegates is working. Take a look at Minnesota, 9 out of 40. They got, swept all 9 of them so far. Okay, so let's see here. Santorum delegates going to Ron Paul in droves. Santorum guys that haven't been, because like it's only halfway through, and Santorum technically was supposed to be in second place, right? If you look at the delegate count, if most of those delegates go to Ron Paul plus Ron Paul's delegates, we got it. We already beat Romney, right? Because no matter how you dice it, he wasn't so far out ahead that number 2 and number 3 would be more than number 1. There's some simple math for you, right? That the number of guys that the front runner has is not greater or equal to the number 2 and 3 slots. Simple math, guys. So get off your butt and get out and do some campaigning. Like I said, if you know of fraud in where you've already had a caucus and so forth, fraud is illegal in the United States. Prosecute the fraud. It may take till next year till that gets to court because the wheels of justice turn slowly. But you can't just let the fraud go, right? You got to prosecute the fraud. So we don't just dwell on that, and then that's what people are doing. It's like, oh, they're cheating. There's no way he's gonna get it. The delegate strategy is working, guys. I mean, take a look at Colorado. I mean, all these different states, he's sweeping delegates up. He's taken more delegates than Romney. And Santorum, with the combination of Santorum and Ron Paul, Romney doesn't have this thing hands down anymore. But that's the lie they're going to tell you. Romney can't get 5,000 people to show up. Romney can't get 8,000 people to show up. Right? It's not. There is no. If they could show a meeting hall or a stadium with Romney standing in front of the crowd, they would. They'd do it over and over again. They'd be all over the media. It would be everywhere all the time. It would be CNN, contains no news 24/7. It'd be on CBS. It'd be on Fox News. It'd be everywhere about Romney's crowds. It's not. You haven't seen Romney get more. I mean, Romney can't get 2,000 people in a room. He can't get 3,000 people in a room. Meanwhile, Ron Paul, 3, 4, 5,000, 6,000. Now, what did I just say? It's a republic that we're in, right? Not a democracy. So those guys going to vote, that is the show. That is what lets the candidates, the delegates know which way they should probably be voting. But it also gives you a good idea of a lot of those people understand the democratic process also, and they go out and become delegates, and they go down there and vote for delegates, and they get involved in the delegate selection process. Ron Paul made a big deal of educating people about how that worked, and I had links and lots of links about how you can become a delegate and how you can get involved in that process, and it's working. We're only halfway through this. A lot of those states that had their caucuses, now the delegates are being chosen. And it turns out that Ron Paul, where he comes in second, and now that with the addition of Santorum's people, he's beating Romney. He's getting more delegates in each state. And it's going to continue that way. And like I said, it can be the fact that we don't need a brokered convention. He made us wind up with all the delegates. I mean, well, not all, but I mean enough delegates to beat Romney. So that when it comes time to cast the vote in the first round, we don't have to go to a dead heat, he comes out with more delegates than Romney. This is not a pipe dream. This is not fantasy. This is simple mathematics and understanding that those crowds are turning into delegates. They're not turning into votes necessarily, but see, this is the thing. They can keep you from voting it, but when it comes down to the delegates, it's that process. We have plenty of evidence of delegate fraud and them trying to pick the delegate slate out ahead of time and do all this stuff, right? Okay, and we got it on video, and these guys, parliamentary procedure, they're breaking the rules, they're breaking the laws, they're breaking the, everything. They just do whatever the hell they want. It turns out they can't because people are holding their feet to the fire, and they're getting it on videotape. And whenever we have guys that have, or not videotape, but, digital, they're getting video of it, where people are taking, when they let the cameras in, things change. When people are watching the polls, things change. Whenever there's paper ballots, Ron Paul wins by a landslide. There's no question how well Ron Paul is doing. It's simple. So, all of these other links, I'm just going to link them. I don't even feel like talking about them. The only thing I'm going to talk about a little bit is hemp. Okay, because what's the main thing? The main thing is the Federal Reserve. The main thing is the fact that we have a private corporation loaning the money, loaning all the money to us in interest, and that sound money is the way to go. Doesn't necessarily have to be gold or silver-backed, but we need sound money. And there are alternatives to gold-backed currency. Because what's happening? They're going to inflate the currency, print all kinds of money, and then the wealthy will buy up all the gold, and he who has the gold makes the rules. It's as simple as that. So there are a lot of people that are stacking silver, and there are a lot of people that understand what's coming, that the currency is going to collapse. And again, that's a mathematical certainty. That's not just conspiracy theory or whatever. It is a mathematical certainty that our currency cannot survive. Spain, we got some problems in Spain. There's a great article that the pain in Spain cannot be contained. We will have contagion. The dominoes are falling. Greece, Spain, it's coming our way. So make no mistake, my friends. Now, hemp. What's Ron Paul's position? Hemp is good. That's his position, that we should allow farmers to grow hemp. Now, you want to get serious about, if you believe in global warming and the nonsense that is, well, still, the best solution, or one of the better solution, is hemp. We have hemp oil. We can grow hemp in abundance. Hemp grows so much more abundantly than corn ever will, and you can use hemp to the fiber. Every bit of that plant is useful. And the fiber, the seeds, hemp seeds. I use hemp seeds all the time. There's an article down there about chia, hemp, and flax seeds being 3 seeds that you should be consuming if you want better health. But hemp seeds, very, very nutritious. Can't grow them in the United States. Hemp oil, very, very good and that's cannabis oil, by the way. That would be the sativa. That would be the stuff that has THC in it. You boil that down, a very useful drug or medicine for combating cancer and a lot of other things also. And just enough to cover the tip of your finger will do it. Are they going to allow that? Not while you let Romney and Obama take over, because what do you hear about what's going on down there in South America, in Colombia, and the meeting down there? All you hear is about hookers and the Secret Service hiring hookers, and that's the whole thing. That's all the story you get. You don't hear that Obama's down there basically telling those guys, no, we're not changing our ridiculous failed drug policy. They're calling for a change in the drug policy, and you don't even hear that. They're saying, look, the United States makes the biggest demand, and their countries, come up with supply, and we've made it illegal, so that there's all manner of business has sprung up around it being illegal. The bankers launder it illegally. There's no way, again, just doing the math, there's no way that much money can be laundered without the bankers being complicit and without governments being complicit in it. There's no way. The numbers are just too huge. It's too much money. And see, you don't hear that. That's, again, simple math. Crouton Ramon's House of Math, guys. Right? Got to get these kids understanding and do some critical thinking. Now, so while they're, and what a surprise, really, military men visiting hookers, paying hookers. Right? Gee, that's the first time in history that's probably ever happened. Right? None of our GIs in World War II in the good war were visiting hookers, were paying French women, or anything like that, right? Come on. From the dawn of time, if soldiering is one of the older professions. Supposedly, being a prostitute is the oldest profession, and those two professions have gone hand in hand forever. And you can say that the Secret Service is not military, but it is. It's paramilitary, and all those guys were military men, and visiting hookers, oh, it's not part of the culture. It just cracked me up, where they're one of the the head of the Secret Service is like, this is not part of the culture, and these men, it would have happened before. No, this is just the first time they got caught. And they got caught for $47 because they pissed off a hooker because they didn't pay her. Oh, my God. Anyway, these are Americans. This is you know what a laughing stock we are on planet Earth. It's just painful to be an American now, and this is another reason why we need Ron Paul, because I guarantee you, George Bush, Clinton, and Obama have not restored the planet's faith in the Americans' ability to pick a politician. Ron Paul has respect all over the world, my friends. Anyway, come on. Do you not see the humor here? This is tremendous humor. What does Ron Paul have to say about prostitution, by the way? And contracts, and that both sides should uphold the contract, right? If you contract with a hooker, you should pay the hooker. It's as simple as that. And Ron Paul does not think that it's the greatest thing, and that everybody should be prostitutes and contracting with hookers. But if you do, it shouldn't be illegal. And the irony there is just tremendous. Personal liberty, right? The libertarian point of view. Anyhow, oh, come on, that's funny. All the links down there, use the links. And where do I get all my links? WhatReallyHappened.com is a major source. Activist Post, that sidebar is links to links to links. There's more stuff down there you can shake your finger at. But you know what? A lot of times you go through Activist Post, and the other one is Dollar Collapse. Because that's another link aggregator. you'll find that many of those links are already on whatreallyhappened.com. So a lot of times I just go to What Really Happened first, and then I go elsewhere. And I think almost every single link I have now that you'll see down there came from whatreallyhappened.com. So if you're wondering where I get all this information, whatreallyhappened.com. It certainly isn't, coming from CBS and CNN and stuff like that, right? All right, so get out there, fourth quarter team, guys. Prosecute the fraud that you know about. Get out there and get more delegates. Tell 5 of your friends to donate $5 each, and tell each one of them to tell 5 of their friends to donate $5 each, and we got this thing, right? Because $5 from one person is much easier than $25 than $25 from one person. So just $5. Everybody's got $5. I know you're stacking silver. I know times are hard. I know you ain't got money because things are rough. The economy's sucking. You want it to stay that way. Keep the $5 in your pocket. But otherwise, just buy one less dime and go Ron Paul. Right? All right.